Very warm welcome in the class of numerical methods. Today we are going to discuss the module of solution of algebraic and transcendental equations. In this particular module, we are going to discuss some methods. In our curriculum, we are having three methods. The first one of them is bisection method, which is today's topic of discussion. So today we are going to see in this lecture that how we are going to implement bisection method, as well as for what type of equations we are going to be successful by implementing this method to find out the desired root. So let us proceed. We are having, suppose, one equation fx, and initially if we want to see that in the graphical representation, if we are having the functional's presentation is like this, then by dropping a perpendicular over here and dropping a perpendicular over here, we get this point is the x is equal to, suppose, x0, which is the desired root of the function. Okay, now what we get for a particular value of x, if the functional value is becoming 0, we are interested for this particular point. Now look at this. If fx is equal to x minus 2, then by our classical method we can make it equal to 0. So we can write x minus 2 is equal to 0 and x is equal to 2 is our desired root. Or if I get fx, the functional expression in algebraic form, after simplification it is x minus 2 and x minus 3 in this form, then by making it equal to 0 we can get x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3, both are the root of this particular function. The problem is, when we are having a function fx whose expression is known to us, but we are not able to factorize this function in linear factors such that making them equal to 0 we can get the roots of this particular given function. As well as we know that after we have some standard methods for quadratic equations, cubic equations, but when the power is increasing, it is not guaranteed that we are going to be able always to factorize in this manner. Parallelly, when we are having log x or sin x, these types of functions associated with x or x square or these types of related terms, then also it is not possible for us to factorize in this form. But we want the root of this given function. So the question is coming that how we can find out the root, though we are not able to find out it classically. Here comes the numerical methods, and it will help us to find out the root. And obviously all of you are now very much comfortable with the concept that we may not be getting the exact root, but the error what is going to happen over here by these tested methods, it will be very much minimum, and we are going to accept the roots, or we are going to accept the answers by these numerical methods if it satisfied some given certain conditions. Now, before entering into the specific topic of today's discussion, that is bisection method, I just want to emphasize only on one more part, that is, if I have a function like this, or if I have a function like this, look at this. Here my functional value is positive and here my functional value is negative, and here my functional value is negative and here it is my functional value is positive. Now look at this. I can have a function like this, or I can have a function like this where we are getting both of them are positive and here I am getting both of them are negative. Now please concentrate, please try to think about it. If we get for a given pair of points AB, FA into FB less than 0, that means their symbols individually are different. If one is positive, another one will be negative. Then starting from this positive part to going for the negative part, it must intersect the x-axis at least one time. So this is the intersection, or in this case we can see that this is the intersection. It may happen that the number of intersections are higher. We are able to see that here also in the same case for positive and negative, we are getting the number of intersections are more than one, but intersection is guaranteed. You can draw it like this also. You can see that the number of intersections are also here higher, but intersections are guaranteed. But when you are getting this, both of the endpoints or functional values are positive, in this case it may be like this or it may be like this. So in this case the intersections are there, and these intersections are in more than one in number. Similarly you can draw like this, or even you can have like this also, or even in this case you can have like this also. But one thing we have to observe, that is, if we have FA into FB less than 0, then intersection is guaranteed, and this intersection is actually giving the interpretation of root, so the root is guaranteed. In case of FA into FB is greater than 0, root may be there, may not be there. So in this confusing state, we will not be able to proceed further our calculation. So in a nutshell, now we can say that the method what we are going to discuss today in this lecture, it depends on a theorem, and this theorem states that if a function fx is continuous in the closed interval AB, and if A and FB are of opposite signs, that means our requirement is FA into FB less than 0. We are not interested the individual symbols, but ultimately their product has to be less than 0. Then there exists at least one real root of fx, that means fx is equal to 0, between A and B. So this is the fundamental concept based on which our discussion will be made, and we are going to define the process called bisection method. So now when we are having a function fx, it is given to us, and we have one closed interval ab such that fa into fb less than 0, then our process means step 2, if I talk about this one as step 1, all these things are judged, then step 2 is nothing but we are going to calculate the middle point of that is c is equal to a plus b by 2. So this is our next step. So if we want to visualize the thing, it is a, it is b, and we are now here at c. So just for our assumption, if I take that it is positive and this is negative as the functional value, then this c has three options. What are these three options? The three options are: it may be positive, it may be 0, and it may be negative as the functional values. I am talking about all this as fc. So one by one, if we judge, if fc is positive, then what the combinations we are getting: fa is positive, fc is positive, fb is negative. So for the next step, it gives us the guarantee that there will be a root between c and b, because fc into fb is less than 0. We will proceed after this line, and all these things will not be considered after first step. But in either case, if we get fc is equal to 0, please think about it, that will be our desired root, because our target is to find out the root, and root means the functional value will be 0 at this point, and we get fc is equal to 0. So obviously we are reaching at our destination with exactness. In either case, if fc is negative, then we are going to choose fc is negative and fa is positive. So in the next step, our choice will be the interval as a and c, because fa and fc is negative, and we will proceed further, and this will be repeated until our desired accuracy is achieved, until our desired accuracy will be achieved. So this is actually the step 3 what I am trying to talk, and our job is done. So this is the whole process, simple process of bisection method. Now we are going to see one problem through which it will be more clear to us. Using bisection method, determine a real root of the equation 8x cube minus 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So let us see how we can proceed. So let fx is equal to this given function 8x cube minus 2x minus 1, and we can check it as then f0 will be -1 and f1 will be, putting the value of x equal to 1 in this expression, we are getting 5. So we get this particular closed interval 0 to 1 where fa into fb is less than 0. Now one question should be asked, that in case of f1 is negative, then what we will do? We will go for f2, we will go for f3 in so in this manner, or you can go for f of -1, f of -2. There one more question will be asked, that is it always guaranteed that we have to find out the functional value starting from 0? No, it is not at all guaranteed. You can start from anywhere. And what is the guarantee that we are going to get after certain time that one value is positive, one value is negative? In that case, we are also saying that though we are going to use our experience, but also nowadays this computation is not done manually. We are doing it for our own conceptual understanding. This will be done by a little program, and those 2 points will be generated or sorted out by a very small computer program with a fraction of second. Okay, so once this is done, our job is to find out x1, which is half of 0 plus 1, that is 0.5. So in visualization, what I see, that it is 0 and 1, and f0 we are getting some negative value, and f1 we are getting some positive value. We are at now 0.5. So if these 2 points are connected in this manner, then 0.5 will be positive. If these 2 points are connected like this manner, then 0.5 will be negative. According to that, we have to choose either this range or we have to go for this particular part for the next step. And if these 2 points are connected just like this manner, then our job is done. We get c is equal to 0.5 as the desired root, real root of this given equation. So what we get, f 0.5, just by substituting this as -1. That means we are getting 0.5 is also negative. That means as it is negative, the next choice will be what? The next choice will be 0.5 and 1, because here we are getting the functional value negative and at 1 we are getting the functional value positive. In this manner we will proceed. Now for the next purpose, that is our computational facility, we are going to create one table. This tabular representation actually helps us to do the calculation in a smoother manner. Xn plus 1 is nothing but half into an plus bn, and this is our checking part, because the functional value will dictate us that what choice we are going to make in the further manner. So when n was 0, a0, b0, a0 was 0, b0 is 1, and we get this calculation half of a0 plus b0 already done, that is 0.5, and f of xn, that is -1, which is less than 0, and this indicates that when n is equal to 1, that means in the next step my bn will be kept as it was, but an will be replaced by 0.5, it will be 1. So 0.5 plus 1 by 2 is 0.75, and putting this 0.75 over there, we get 0.875, which is positive. Once it is done, for the next step n equal to 2, tell me what value will be there. 0.5, at 0.5 it is negative, At 0.75 it is positive, at 1 it is also positive. So 0.5, 1 and 0.75, what is our choice? Obviously 0.5, and this 1 is also positive, 0.75 is also positive, but 0.75 will be chosen because we are going to make our range half, then it is half, then it is half, then it is half, then it is half. In this way actually we are coming to our desired root. So here also we are going to take 0.75, and for the further calculation it will be 0.625, and f of 0.625 is minus 0.297, which is less than 0. Now before proceeding further, I just want to say one thing. All of you can identify that this is very close to minus 0.297 is also very close to 0, and if in this column we are getting 0 as our answer, then we are in the exact root. If we allow this much of error, then my desired root will be 0.625. But if I want to make my error more minimized, then I have to proceed further. So here, when we are going to terminate our process, that depends on the desired accuracy. So in the question, if nothing is mentioned, we can go further, but generally it is mentioned that up to which level we have to proceed. And here if we proceed for some more levels, suppose at n equal to 7, we are going to get it is 0.657, and it is 0.665, and it is 0.661, and it is 0.661, which is it is not going to be 0.661. if we put it, it will be going to be more close, maybe 0.661 also I can take, and it is greater than 0. So we can go for this particular calculation, and we have to check what we are going to get over there to reach to our destination. This is our main target. So in this way we are going to find out the results. So I am not extending this lecture further. I just want to say one thing, that in this manner we have to proceed, and the references we can follow here, we will get various calculations and problems. We must go for the equations where transcendental equations are also involved, and these are simple assignments for your practice, but it is not limited to this. So finally I want to thank you all for your patience. Happy learning, happy listening.